Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us. We are talking today about Uber cases. You were a passenger, you were a driver, you got in a crash, it wasn't your fault, you got hurt. What do you do next? Before we get that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow along where I will make sure that your future injury case is protected. So, Uber, why is it worth it to bring your Uber case? It's worth it because even if that driver tells you, yeah, you're going to sue me, you're going to make me pay for it, guess what? Uber pays for it. The moment that they clock in, you are on Uber's insurance policy. And Uber has a nice insurance policy in most states, as much as $1 million, even if that driver doesn't have any insurance. So let's take two different scenarios. You're a passenger and the driver of the car that you're in, that Uber, is at fault. You definitely have a case. There's no way that you are at fault if you're a passenger in a car crash unless you grab the wheel or do some crazy shit in the car. So if you are a passenger, know that you can tap into Uber's insurance. You're not stuck using that driver's insurance. Next, if you're an Uber driver and you get rear-ended by somebody else and you have bad insurance on your own policy, typically you can opt in because you are on the clock to two different cases. One, you have a workers' compensation case because you were on the job when you got hurt. And depending on the type of employment you have, there's tons of cases going on across the country where Uber drivers are starting to become W-2 employees. If you're an independent contractor, you may not have workers' compensation. If you are a W-2, you may. So this is something just to think about. And you also definitely have a case against the other driver who hit you and Uber for something called underinsured motorist coverage. So let's say that other driver had no insurance and you just got rear-ended. Okay, let's say that you got in a hit and run situation. What do you do now? If the other driver doesn't have insurance or has minimal insurance, you can tap into Uber's policy as either the primary or the secondary policy. So if there's no driver insurance from the people behind you, you now have Uber's insurance policy to tap into. So don't be scared to bring a case. They cannot use it to retaliate against you because that would be another case that you have against Uber. So don't be afraid to bring a case against Uber. These guys are a mega conglomerate. They can afford the insurance policies. Their premiums are going up anyway. And if you're a passenger and you got in an Uber crash, make sure that you talk to an injury lawyer with your questions because you likely have a pretty valuable case too. Also, in terms of your medical bills, if you get in a crash and you want your medical bills paid, depending on the state, you may be able to get your medical bills paid for upfront by Uber as well. So don't be scared to bring your case. Don't be scared to go get treatment. If you ever have any questions, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Follow along where I will make sure your future injury case is protected. Thanks for joining.